Hello everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me for another video. So today I am making a single page layout and I'm going to get 5 photos on this layout, and I'm using the same collection that I used in the last video. It's a doodlebug collection from 2010-2011, and it's more than just a collection. I think it's a collection with some other coordinating papers thrown in and embellishments. So I don't really know what the collection is, but I'm inking all my edges with my black close to my heart ink, and that large pattern paper piece there, I believe I cut to about 11 by 11. A lot of times I'm not too specific and I don't measure, and so I just kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to glue it down to the back of my page here. And I did use my T-square ruler to make sure it was straight, but I did not worry about making sure it was centered in the middle of the layout. I knew that would probably drive me nuts and it would probably end up not straight anyway, so I just made sure that the box was straight. And then I have glued down this other strip of pattern paper, and it's cut to about 4.5 or 5 by 12 inches. I can't remember the exact measurement of it, but I knew that some of my photos were already cut down to 4 by a little less than 2.5. So I wanted there to be some of that pattern paper showing. And the reason I have my photos pre-cut to 4 by a little less than 2.5 is because I know I want all 5 to span across the layout. And there is one photo that I have not trimmed down, and that's because there was no way I was going to try to divide 12 by 5 and try to figure out the exact size to cut each photo. So I left that one longer, knowing it would go on the end, and it actually fits perfectly in this little spot, which is smaller than the other ones, but you can't really tell. And I love these photos anyway, so that's just a picture of my daughter next to her present, and it fit in that spot perfectly. Excuse me for having to clear my throat so many times. So just a little disclosure on these photos. I am probably 70% sure that I have scrapbooked at least some of these photos before. These were before I was completely organized, and I did think about going back and looking to see if I've already scrapbooked them, but I didn't worry about it, because if I had scrapbooked them already, then they were probably the old style where I used to just put, we all start out just putting the picture and calling it good. I didn't journal. I know for a fact that I never journaled about the pictures. And I know there's a lot of layouts that I don't journal on. I don't feel like you have to journal on every layout, but I figured if I'm going to go ahead and scrapbook these photos again, then I might as well journal. And this is just my daughter. These are from 2003 Christmas Eve, and my mother-in-law had gotten all the granddaughters a Barbie Swan Lake carriage and, the Barbie Swan Lake dolls. So I do add my journaling. I don't know if I show the journaling in the video or not. Probably not, because I do print it up with my printer, and usually that takes a little longer, so I cut that part out of the video. So I will tell you, those snowflakes are a cut file that I got. So at the beginning of this year, I decided I was going to take a class by Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. I've never taken a class from them before, but I have to say, so far, I like it. It's their year-long one, and I think it was around $28 or so. I don't know, 20 and 30. It wasn't too much, because then I wouldn't have taken it. However, each month, what they're doing all year long is they are giving you a sketch for a double page layout. Again, please excuse me. And then the designer for that month is taking that 2-page layout and doing a single page layout for you to kind of get an idea. And so I think that's great. First of all, I'm getting all these sketches, so at least 12 sketches throughout the year, so they're like $2 a sketch. But then if you think you get 2 sketches every month throughout the year, that's 24 sketches. So technically, I mean, they don't give you a sketch for the single page, but anyways, long story short, I feel like so far I'm getting my money's worth, because definitely these snowflakes were a cut file that you got. So every month, apparently, you get cut files to go with them, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. So one of the layout that one of the designers did in January, she had cut these snowflakes out of vellum also, which is kind of what gave me the idea. And because this page is so busy, I just wanted the subtle touch of the snowflakes, and they're kind of hard to see even in person, but I mean, they're a little easier to see. And I am just going to glue down the center. I'm going to use a glue dot to glue down the center of the snowflakes. I'm not even going to worry about gluing the edges, because once it's in the page protector, I kind of like that there's a little bit of dimension to them and they're sticking up on the ends a little bit. So once they're in the page protector, it'll be just fine. So I started on that cluster you can see down in the bottom right, and I'm basically just going to have a cluster up here in the top left and the cluster there on the bottom right, and that is going to be the flow of my layout. And I am making sure that the snowflakes, I did make sure that they both kind of had, I don't know what you call snowflake wands or parts of the snowflake sticking over the photos just for some added interest. And I'm adding these Santa stickers into the middle of each one, and I put some foam tape behind both of those circle Santa stickers. And after I got this cluster going up in the top left, I decided I did not like the way this cluster in the bottom right was going. And so look, you can see me here very, very, very carefully pulling up those elements. I did not want to rip my vellum. I guess I could have easily just cut again a new snowflake, but everything was already started down. And so I'm going to pull up the heart and the wreath too. I just wasn't liking the way that cluster was going. And so luckily I pulled everything up and I didn't rip anything. And the other nice thing is with the ATG adhesive, if it's not completely pressed down or glued down yet, you do have a little bit of time to kind of roll it off with your finger, which you will see me probably do later on. There is just a little bit of adhesive left in on the vellum part of that snowflake. So part of the reason I wanted to change this cluster around was because I really liked the way the snowman looked up in the right, or excuse me, up in the top left cluster. I really liked the way the snowman looked. I felt the whiteness of the snowman really popped. And I wanted to use these stickers because that snowflake pattern paper has some glitter all over it. A lot of the snowflakes are glittery, and so not only is the snowman glittery, but the Santa beards are glittery. So that's just another reason I was kind of wanting to try to use these elements instead of the wreath and that tag. So I'm going to pop this heart up on some foam tape, and I believe I have a heart in each cluster. So now each cluster has the round circle Santa sticker, and wow, say that 10 times fast, round circle Santa sticker. Oh, and here's where I decide, because I only had 2 hearts left from this collection, and one of them, they were both kind of a pink color, and I wanted a little bit of contrast, so I just took the 3rd circle Santa sticker. I kind of having fun saying that. I took the 3rd circle Santa sticker and I put it, since it was green, I just covered up the other pink one with it. I thought about trying to pull up the pink one to be able to use it elsewhere, but then I changed my mind. I said, there's no way. I'm not going to chance it again. I knew I didn't rip the snowflake on the first time around. It would probably rip again if I tried again. So then there was a couple just circle stickers with some little snowflakes. You can see the little pink circle stickers, and I just kind of placed those around, mostly trying to get them used up. And I'm going to go through, look through a little bit at the embellishments, but then I decided I'm going to try for a title, and I was excited to get to use up, I think this is the 2nd or 3rd time, even just in this year or since I've been in my new room, that I've gotten to use up some of my pink stickers. So usually I hardly ever use pink stickers, so I'm having a lot of fun using up stickers, and these are the stickers I'm going to use. And oh my gosh, I have no idea. They are so old and there's no adhesive on them whatsoever. You're going to see. I was going to maybe write Christmas Eve. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to write. So you can see that sticker just popping back up. There's no adhesive, which it makes it kind of nice because I can move it as many times as I want around the page. And there's not going to be a problem, but at the same time, it's a little bit annoying because they're moving on their own and it's hard to figure out if I want the title there or not. So I kind of played around with the thought of putting the title along the top, but then I decided I kind of wanted to put the title along the bottom. I didn't want to write just Christmas. I was thinking I would do Eve maybe in another font or another sticker. I really wasn't sure at this point because the background of this layout is so busy. You know, I struggle with that. So I don't know how much of the adding the letters I show, but basically I decide, oh, I'm going to put the year up at the top and Christmas down below. And I don't know if I even wrote Christmas Eve at all. I think I just wrote Christmas, but in the journaling it probably should say. If not, this page will go along other Christmas Eve photos that are in my other scrapbook, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, that is how my stickers are going to go. And I'm just going to show here that I decided the easiest way is to glue them down is to use the Xyron adhesive, and it worked really well, and I never remembered to use that. So along on this sticker sheet was some pink stars. So I used one of the pink stars to dot my eye instead of just adding the regular dot. And I added also some more of those pink stars around the page, and I'm just using mini glue dots to glue those extra stars around the page, just to make it a little easier to glue them down. And that is pretty much going to be my layout. There is a couple close-up shots here at the end, and then a shot of the very final layout. It's not the best pictures in the world. Again, I'm kind of been really busy lately and just want to make sure I'm still getting videos up for you guys. I love my subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to new ones, old ones, everybody. Please leave a comment below. I love your comments. Have a great day. I will see you next time. Goodbye.